Hello, everyone. I
Hey.
guess we are on. Let me check.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Cool.
we're on. How you guys doing today? Today is Sunday. It is July
Saturday. Saturday.
July 4th,
Yes.
2020. My name is Enrique Reyes. I am one of the admins for a group that I started about 3 years ago. It's called The Narcissist and the Psychologist Walk Into the Room. And I wanted a way to help people with my experience with mental health. And I've been on a fun ride since then. We've had a lot of fun help with getting to know what disabilities are and how to help people naturally, and how to just bridge the gap between kind of what we say and practical application. And that's kind of what we're here today. And today I have one of my admins here, Natasha.
Hi. Natasha Cunningham here in Santa Barbara.
I am
And
also in Santa Barbara. We are really good friends. We
yep.
actually train together on the beach. We do yoga together. And we confer almost every day on every part of my life, my business, helping me, checks and balances. Alex, Natasha, and I go around like that. Alex is in London. We're here, and that's what we do. We do what we say. So we talk about mental health. I see it in my life. I see it online. Alex sees it in his life in London. Natasha sees it here. She's a nurse and junior high. So we all are interconnected like that.
Yes.
And I guess we're just going to jump into. So today's topic is going to be fitness and mental health, but more specifically, it's yoga.
Yes.
One of the things that I love to do is fitness. And I found out early on when I was doing my hypothesis on how to cure ADHD, ADD, and narcissism is one of the main aspects is to have a natural way to have a chemical release. And I found out to help with my violence tendencies, to help with my not focusing, to help with my stress and anxiety. One of the best things that you could do actually is yoga and or fitness. So
Right.
Natasha, again, I'm going to let her have the wheel for a little bit, and she's going to talk about that.
All right. So as Enrique said, I work as a nurse here in town. I work with mainly pediatrics, so young children. And I am also just became a yoga instructor. I did one teacher training, so I'm a new yoga instructor, and I'm just started a second teacher training June 24th, and this one is a little longer. It'll run 8 weeks, so I'm in the second week of it now, and I love it. I've been practicing yoga, gosh, since like 2014, and recently in the past year, I started practicing hot yoga at Core Power. So I've been there for about a year now. But I love all types of yoga. I love cardio too. We've done Tabata on the beach. I believe that exercise helps you release endorphins, gives you more of the good feeling hormones like the GABA, the serotonin, and the dopamine that we need, especially if we suffer from a mental health disorder.
Yeah, that is true. The whole aspect of when people say, "Hey, how do I get better? How do I get better?" Especially with things that aren't supposed to be curable, like OCD or bipolar or depression or NPD, narcissism, personality disorder, anything like that. One of the root causes of that is actually um, stress and anxiety,
Yeah,
and it's from trauma, childhood trauma. There's actually a lot of trauma from birth. So it's hidden trauma, hidden sexual abuse. So all these things can have your cortisol level rise, and that is the your chemical release that basically tells you to like it's almost like a fight or flight. Uh,
right. You've got the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is our fight or flight, which we should technically only be in, say, for example, a bear is running towards me. And I'm going to tense up because I know that I have to fight. I have to give it my all. So my organs, all the blood flows to my organs to make me strong in my muscles, right? But nowadays, I feel like human beings were more in the sympathetic nervous system. Cortisol levels rise, but it's not because of a bear, it's because of stress, the 40-hour work week, or being a single parent, or whatever we're experiencing in our day-to-day life. Our bodies are typically, we usually have a high level of cortisol, which we should not. We need to come back to the parasympathetic nervous system, and yoga helps with that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Um,
So, oh, go ahead.
oh,
Go into the parasympathetic.
yeah. So,
It's
getting
so
back, so it's either medicine
mm-hmm.
or what in the last 10, 15 years, 5 years, doctors have been saying, okay, physical fitness and yoga.
Sure.
And there's so many studies right now through all the top 10 schools. I think I just listed a common one from Harvard,
Mm-hmm.
MIT, Stanford, Yale. Everyone has put a lot of money into research on figuring out why yoga does what it does. And even in India, um, the government there has put up a large amount of money each year to research it because technology is telling us that we have a measurable science for that. So it's a MRI or it's brain scan, PET scan for a brain. Yeah, so it's all these things that are measurable that can show areas of the brain that which light up. And then they're seeing so many large 300,000 people long-term studies of how it affects on the post-end for depression and anxiety. And kind of going back a little bit, if one of the main culprits or one of the main things would be a triggering effect from anxiety to stress. And I keep doing this because for me, the anxiety is here. So I do this naturally for my Tai Chi. I want to release. So we want to release.
And pull my shoulders back and down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if that's one of the main things, if you look at the opposite, so we do the opposite day, it's how do I have stress? What's the opposite? Well, the opposite is to release it. So that would be breathing, any time of physical exercise in conjunction with kinesiology, body movement.
Right. Breath to movement. Breath to movement.
Yeah.
That's what I love about yoga. You have both. It's not just breath, it's breath to movement.
Yeah. And that lowers the sea levels down and then it releases all the other neurotransmitters in the brain that might be low.
Like
yeah. So you have your dopamine, serotonin, GABA that create our mood cycle. And that's kind of what medicine does. So, it falsely gives you a chemical rise, or it blocks the preventative of that. And what happens, it allows the body naturally to have an unyielding control of that chemicals. And you actually go way too high if you overdose, or too high and you feel very lethargic. And then you kind of have to figure out where that dosage from that. But the alternative, like I said, is fitness.
And I'm seeing it more now. I've like maybe 5 or 10 years back. If that was like a holistic thing, yoga, kind of a hippie thing, like, oh, the doctor would not even say anything about that. But now it's more of a complementary therapy where they're like, you can take these medications, but you do have these type of exercises that you can do. It's a consistent yoga practice though, so we have to remember that. You have to stay disciplined. It has to be consistent at least 3 times a week, at least, to see full benefits, right?
Yeah, there's a measure too. So
yoga can be, people think yoga is just about flexibility, but it's so much more. It can balance your stress hormones. It can improve muscle strength. It can lower your blood pressure and lower your heart rate.
Yeah.
And the way that it does that is, as I was saying before, is yoga activates your parasympathetic nervous system. So that's our rest and digest system that we want to be in more. Yoga, a consistent yoga practice can do that for you. And if your body's tapping into your parasympathetic nervous system more, that lowers your heart rate, which in turn lowers your blood pressure. I mean, there's diet too that comes into effect. So it's a connection. You have to connect it all.
Yeah, there's a big synergistic action that happens for that. Yeah. I'm all about putting all things together, and yoga being one of the great forms of it. There's so many other forms that you can try. If you can't afford yoga, there's yoga on YouTube. You can do a Zoom class, which became popular because COVID. So being inside your house and being safe, you can do it in the privacy of your home if you worry about body self-image, or you can afford it, which is fine. There aren't a lot of classes open. We're fortunate now in Santa Barbara that the classes are open. We're one of the few, I think, in the state that are open. Because
Yes.
it's really young.
Hmm.
And so we train all the time. So you can just find a parallel to what you want for your life. And you'll see you want martial arts or boxing. That can also give you the same high. It depends on the chemical rise. If you want more of a breathing aspect and just low impact, you can go Tai Chi or Bakwa Hung Gar, one of the many forms of Chinese martial arts.
All right.
We do Tabata too, so we haven't done Tabata in a little bit because of they actually just closed down the beaches today. So
Yeah.
if you look at Tabata, Tabata is a high energy. It's the highest spike you can do it for your brain. So if I'm doing martial arts and Tai Chi since I was like 19 and doing hard fitness, I need something high. So I'll be jumping on the planes, I'll be swimming with sharks, and that's going to give me my high chemical. So what we're trying to do with the yoga and other accompaniment type exercises is getting that positive pattern going where we have the chemical rise. We drop the sea levels for reduce anxiety and stress.
Right.
And one of the main things that it helps is we doing something that we like,
Yes.
the positive self-image, and what that does for your overall mental health, in addition to the chemical rises.
Definitely. If
Very
it's what I tell the students that I work with when I talk to them, like, what do you do outside of school? You know, what are your hobbies? What do you do for exercise? And some of them will say they run or they dance, but they don't like it. And my response to them always is if you love the exercise, it's easy to go and do. Rick and I can go and do yoga 7 days a week because we love it, you know, and there's other exercises that we incorporate in throughout the week. But if it's something that you love, it doesn't feel like a chore. It doesn't feel like a hassle going and doing it.
Yeah, so when you look at, like, if we paint a picture and we have a blank canvas on like this wall right here.
Uh-huh.
So we have this wall right here and it's naked. So we paint yoga on it like a Van Gogh. That's part of the painting. So what's the other half? So we want to always add into
Diet.
it. Yeah, so synergistic movement is so friendship.
Yes.
So Natasha and I are friends. When we see each other, we hug, right? Because
Uh-huh.
that positive touch is such a great thing for the chemical rise too. It's a very neutral, friendly hug. And then there's in class, she looks at me like, "Get up." There's support bike.
Yes.
Literally have the same mats, the same water, the same swimming
Right.
pool, the same yoga clothes. We everything.
Uh, I know we were matching sometimes,
Yeah. So
but his shorts are smaller than mine.
yeah. So what's happening? We're doing multiple things. So we're breathing, right? We're getting
Sure.
the chemicals in our brain high. We have friendship. We have human interaction. We're outside. So in the whole ball of mental fitness that is helping us not to maybe go on medicine, or you're thinking we're way to decrease medicine. Of course, always consult your doctor. I'm not a doctor or psychiatrist. Um,
Definitely.
um, that is an alternative way. But we're adding so many things to push your brain to function normally and to heal any neuron, how would I say, any neuron blocks that you might have that aren't making the connection. That's where the dopamine comes in.
Right. Happy hormone.
So making that electrical stimulant and then jumping to a chemical stimulant for between each cell. It's really important. But putting those things together is very, very vital in your life, not just one thing, not just yoga. Look at all the other things. Grab a friend.
Right.
Yeah. So there's your tribe mentality, the support, you know. If we're replacing anything we've done before and replacing that pattern, let's see if it's negative, going out to bars, drinking, overeating, maybe a bad relationship.
Right.
So that what do we interject in its place to provide a positive chemical release of your brain and the chemicals to help with mood, behavioral issues? And then how do we rewrite the negative patterns and put the same patterns in positive?
I have a medevac going by. I live by the hospital, so the helicopter is going by. Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Yeah, the medevac's going by right now.
I have a new shirt too. See?
What? Oh, okay. Oh, you got it, Christian Marte.
Yeah.
Oh, cool, cool. I can't see all of the. Oh, there we go. Death, be still. Must be something extraordinary as life is. In the very understanding of life, there is the understanding of death, because the two are not separate. I
Yeah.
like that. Where did you get that from?
Online.
Online. Everything's online. Online. But yes, so yoga can be a healthy coping mechanism. Exercise can be a healthy coping mechanism, definitely. So there's running and there's walking too. Walking is beautiful. I do that a lot with my daughter, and we have a chocolate lab. And sometimes I'll leave my phone here, I'll leave my Apple Watch here, just to kind of be disconnected, and we'll just go on a long walk and we'll look at the neighborhood, we'll pick flowers. I've been picking like succulent cuttings to plant in my yard. And that's wonderful exercise too, because there's the connection between us two, and because it's good exercise.
Yeah, I've always thought of why I didn't do yoga or why you stopped doing fitness. We have this thing in the back of our mind saying, it's hard work, I can't do it. I'm not. It's not the right time of the day. I just broke up with my girlfriend, or I don't have cool Nike clothes on. And as soon as you start that negative thought, you're already close the door. You're already self-defeating yourself. You have to come from a place to where it is positive. You have to come from a place where it's an intent that you want to do. And let's see, do we lose Natasha? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I was slow.
You're frozen. When I teach, I tell the students, like, you made it to your mat. Sometimes that's the hardest part, is showing up. So you're here now, settle in and be proud of yourself, because sometimes that's the hardest part. Like when we used to do Tabata,
Yeah.
I mean, my heart rate's going up to 180, 170 to 180 beats per minute. It's intense.
Yeah.
But it's the strength and relaxation that you feel afterwards and the changes in your body, it's incredible.
Yeah, so what we say in yoga too, and what Natasha is being taught right now, and what I say too, when I train anyone for martial arts, when I train people for Tai Chi or weapons or whatever is, and breathing, I'm like, okay, what's your intent? Like, why are we here?
Over here. Yeah.
I don't, it's kind of a funny don't answer question, because I don't want you to answer now. I want you to sit with it and understand it, because when you come later in a week and say, okay, let's do our Tai Chi, or let's do our forms, I want you to think about, okay, a solid answer would be, it's because I want to help with mental health. I don't want to rely on the traditional Western way to do it, which might be medicine or psychiatric help, for 20 years. Let's say I want to reduce that, by the help of your doctor or your own view, basically.
Right.
How do we get to that level? And it's just a great way to think about going down the spectrum of doing something like this, doing something you love, that's beneficial, that's helpful. And it's, if you set your intention early, like exactly what I said, I want to get off the yoga, I want to get off the chemicals, I want to get off the antidepressants.
Right.
So then you have a goal to work toward, because even when it's bad and when it's raining, when your fitness goals are crappy, when you have bad shoes, when you feel really bad, guaranteed 1,000% that when you start doing any exercise or anything that raises the chemical that's positive, you will get out of that feeling. First thing, getting out of the house, positive affirmation, breathing, the sunlight, vitamin D, calling a friend or meeting someone to help push you when you don't have that enthusiasm. After the chemicals are up, it stays elevated for a long time. That's a great thing. Coffee. So obviously, I didn't say the negative patterns, which we do. Go out, maybe get drunk, maybe be with someone, that's totally fine. But when it takes over life and you use that as a chemical rush, eating 30 Hostess household, a ho-ho or Twinkies, maybe not the best thing. Drugs.
Called diarrhea. Yeah.
Maybe not the best thing. Those are all chemical highs. So how to replace that chemical high, which you want, the addiction, and how do you put it into something positive? And setting your attention like, hey, I want to do this, getting your focus on and finding something that raises your chemicals on a positive, neutral level is actually a beautiful thing, because it does work. A lot of Americans is like, I want it now. I only want the prescription, and that's going to be it. I have to do no work. And if I took that route, you don't see the awesome person you can become. You don't see the journey. There's a lot of hardships, and you don't know the strength of the water unless you go up the river against current in the canoe.
Right.
And there's a lot of hardship that come with this, but the fruitful benefits on the postman are amazing. And friendship and your self awareness and your strength that you can never find just by grabbing something in a bottle. I mean,
right.
I can't profess that more, how much the journey has helped me, someone who has his fixed his narcissism, which is literally impossible. And how I'm doing now, I have to attribute it mostly to fitness and yoga and a big drive. Everything I'm telling you, I've done. I
You're
put it in
doing. Yes.
practice. And Natasha is
And
and
he's
Alex are
very,
pure testament to what I've done.
yeah.
I'm completely honest on everything on that.
I remember in my early 20s, and I lived in San Francisco. I was in college. We'd go out and drink, and then after you drink, you make bad decisions with eating because it's late. And you'd have Jack in the Box or junk food, and it's just a cycle. And the next day, you're just too tired to work out, and then there's another party, and it's just a cycle. So with yoga, when you can have a consistent, continual practice, you want to eat better. You already feel lighter from your yoga, and you want to keep going because you feel the change in your hormones, you feel the change in your body, you feel stronger. And I believe it motivates you to start eating better too. I've seen that in people.
Yeah, that is true. So I think, did you get everything out?
Yeah, I think so. Because I talked about the sympathetic nervous system. I talked about the lymphatic system. And it's just amazing what yoga can do for our whole body. It's not just for muscle strength.
Yeah.
Right. It can do so much from head to toe.
Yeah, definitely. And we didn't want to make it super complicated. I can tell you every part of the brain,
Yeah.
every chemicals and 7, 8, 9, the dopamine. It's every chemical released, neuron level, everything.
Yes. Instead of taking a medication for like an anti-anxiety medication,
yeah,
has high levels of GABA in it or serotonin, whichever one you're taking, you can get it naturally from exercise.
Yeah, definitely. Foods too.
You can. So I got a text message. You can supplement it.
Yeah.
Definitely. So, but like I said, it should be a consistent practice.
Yeah.
And you start with 10 minutes a day, 20 minutes a day. Just build up. It's a yoga practice, not yoga perfect. It's a yoga practice. And I'm humbled every day. I've been practicing for years, and there's still some days where poses are hard for me.
Oh, every day I feel like, what do I say? I'm dead. I'm dying.
I'm dying. I know you're. I'm dying.
I call it the BDSM of fitness, especially hot yoga. What we do, we go in the hottest part of the room, and we do the hardest class, and we're there next to each other, and I'm like, oh, I'm dying, but I get out of it. I feel so fresh and alive, and I would have never gotten it if I didn't find it.
Remember, yoga can boost your immunity too, lower inflammation, and that's all done through the circulatory system.
Lower anxiety, stress, flexibility for like hip problems, knee problems. I don't do any weights. I'm 212 pounds. I do no weights at all, and I keep my mass. I'm also whole food, plant-based vegan, so I do watch what I eat.
So where's the beach? You know.
So, my frame is from a bamboo pole and from spinning and from yoga, but I do no weights. But for your own information, look it up. If you do a Google search right now, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of scientific papers and research papers from college students about everything from top universities of the direct link between mental health and yoga, and then from there all types of fitness, and you understand what it does, and from there you don't think that it does, but it's consistency over time. So eating good over time, it's having that new friendship, so that getting rid of the old, bringing in the new environment, house, friendship, job, outlook. It's that in conjunction with this will help, and it's over time. You might not see it instead of going day by day, going, oh my God, there's no change. I've done it all. Try week by week, try month by month, try year by year. What I've done, and you'll see. You almost guarantee you'll see results. You definitely should decrease your medicine level, or increase everything else for positivity, the body image, to chemical rise, to moods, stabilizing, reducing stress and anxiety. Your C level, increase your dopamine. I mean, I can go on and on and on.
And I challenge you to get a blood pressure cuff at your house in manual one, and take your blood pressure, chart it, and then write down every day you do yoga and for how long, and just watch how it starts to go down. Your body changes over time.
Or even with just breathing. I think what we're going to do in the future, we're going to do yoga for the group specifically, So we're going to do basic moves. I can do Tai Chi. And
All
then
right.
there's Eastern and Western philosophies for breathing. You know, India and Chinese goes back, for my art goes back for 5,000 years for training. And for same with parallelism with yoga in India. You know, we have a huge Ujjayi breath, open mouth,
Right.
exhale. The same with coming from the Da Tian in Tai Chi and push-pull hands. It's the same concept. It's the same thing physical wise. So I think we're going to do videos where it can help people. So you have it right there. It's
Right.
from
And a short meditation too. We should do a short meditation video.
yeah, meditation. So comment down below on what you guys want, and we'll probably do a video next week on it, and then we'll do like a short video. And we live in Santa Barbara, so I'm gonna take my drone out. We're gonna do it on top of my, it's not my ancestry, but my native ancestry of the natives in the middle of nowhere. They call it Lizard's Mouth, the Indian playground.
So beautiful.
Beautiful, beautiful rock scenery right by the Pacific Ocean. It's
Yeah.
untouched. So we're going to do something like that so you can come to a nice screen place and practice your breathing, practice your yoga. So look out for that, you know.
Yeah, I can't wait. That's going to be fun to tape.
So Natasha, thank you for taking, I know you're super busy with your daughter and today's a holiday and whatever you're doing. We just did this morning. So I want to thank you for your time here.
No problem.
And thank you for practicing with me and being a really good friend. We've been through a lot.
Yes. Oh, I love you, my friend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love you too. So I will see you back on the board, guys. Again, Rick, Enrique, and Natasha, we are from a narcissist, sorry, and
It's
a
okay.
neuropsychologist walk into a bar, and we're in a free Facebook group, and soon to be on TikTok, and we are on
Oh, cool. We're on TikTok.
YouTube. We're gonna be
Oh, okay.
$3 videos. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, try to get
And,
TikTok.
we're reaching people all over the world, which I've done and talked to people all over the world the last 3 years, from Europe to New Zealand to Ireland. I've talked to everyone. And we're just glad to be here and glad to help. Again, free help. Never, ever would charge a dime in any house. And any help, you can call me. You can text me. You want to talk to me personally. The last talk I got was 4 hours long. That's an average. There's
Ooh,
a lot of information in there about
props to you.
We're to help. So we'll see you. And thank
Okay.
you.
I'll see you soon.
Stay on the line.
Okay.